Ella Flagg was born in Buffalo, New York to her parents, Theodore and Jane Flagg, in 1845. She didn't have the opportunity to attend school until she was around the age of 10, but before that she taught herself how to read and write. Ella Flagg decided to drop out of school shortly after that because she wasn't being challenged enough. Her parents also didn't support her being in school. A few years after that, Ella decided to take the certification examination to become a teacher. She easily passed, but unfortunately was told she was too young to teach. At this time, her mother also didn't support her being a teacher and told her she wouldn't make it. But Ella Flagg persevered and attended Chicago Normal School and graduated from there in 1862. After that, she also studied in the University of Chicago under John Dewey. She received her Ph.D. in 1900. In 1868, she married her husband, William Young. They were married for many happy years after that, until she turned 27 years old when he died. She lost her parents also, and her brother and sister, before her husband died. She had no more close relatives, and so she was left alone for the rest of her life. After her family died, she decided to focus solely on her teaching career, and she did so for 53 years. She became superintendent of schools, professor of education in the University of Chicago, served on the Board of Education for the state of Illinois. She was also president of the Nation Education Association, and she identified herself with the women's suffrage movement. As you can tell, she was very busy. Unfortunately, she died at age 73 on October 26, 1988, because of the flu pandemic. But she left a wonderful legacy behind her that is still growing to this day. Ella Flagg was very influential in the school systems, and she created a lot of reform in the schools of America. In her career, she did a lot, and she worked up to a certain point that gave her more opportunities to change the systems. She created school governing bodies so that all teachers and administrators could discuss curriculum and logistical matters. She created this to ensure the quality and welfare of the system's teachers. She also changed the job of the principal, which wasn't very involved with the students or the teachers. They mainly worked on accounting and paperwork for the schools. To make it a more involved position, she required a much deeper knowledge of curriculum and pedagogy. She also added deans to schools to help counsel students. She diminished the role of administrative functions and delegated greater authority to school-level staff instead of the central office. Teachers were given a much louder voice and were able to make a lot more decisions in the schools. And this created a more professional teaching environment. Because of all this, the schools became much stronger and education became more important. In today's world, you see much of her legacy, as teachers have a much bigger role to play in the decision making, and the authority of the schools is spread out to many people. And each school can decide what is most important for the students to learn under what the states give them as their objective to learn. Because of all this, there is more democracy in the system. In the high school I attended, the teachers were interested in what you wanted to learn, and they incorporated it into their curriculum. They did spend a lot of time on the outline of what was set down by the school, but they were able to work with it and change it as much as they could to incorporate what we wanted. Because of this, it helped us to gain a more, to be more intuitive and questioning what we are learning, and to explore our education. It helped us to want to learn. And I've seen that through many other schools that I've been to. Ella Flagg had a quote written about her and her purpose of all of her work. Young proposed that teaching methods should give fullest expression to the individual interests of the child, that education should recognize the total experiences the child brings to the school, and that the curriculum should provide the child with experiences that build on his or her natural interests and dispositions.